Here's how to unlock the secret lift to unlock the Consecrated Snowfield, and how to get all of the map fragments in the snow region known as the Mountain of Giants step by step. I'm going to walk you through with the map side by side, and I'll timestamp the locations of where to find each half of the medallion required to unlock the elevator to reach the Consecrated Snowfield. Firstly though, to actually reach the snow region, you need to use the Grand Lift of Rold. Now if you don't know how to get here, make sure you check out the last video linked down below where I show you how. Now as soon as you take the Grand Lift of Rold up, you're going to find the first map fragment just a bit further down the path here. Further on from that, we're going to find the first site of grace just to the northeast. So go ahead and rest at this checkpoint because the next one is quite far away. And then from there, we're going to head southeast through the Zamor ruins. And you'll see a bit of a stone path through the snow on the ground here that we're going to need to follow most of the way through this video. Always make sure you use it as a bit of a reference point. Once we reach the cliff edge, we can follow it around and then jump up over the rocks and head through the big gap in the cliff face ahead. And now we need to cross a very narrow ridge through the mountains. But there is a catch, because about halfway through there's going to be a giant archer who's going to nail you with arrows. But don't worry, you'll be able to take cover halfway across the bridge to avoid them, or alternatively you can jump back and forth on Torrent to try and dodge them, or just jump to let Torrent tank the damage. Now after crossing the bridge, we're going to head north through the mountain pass and up the rocky cliffs here. And in the distance there, you're going to see a tall bridge ahead, which is also on the map, and we're just going to pass underneath it and then follow the icy river ahead. Now beyond a few giants, there's nothing here to worry about apart from not liking the video. And now once we head to the end of this icy river, we're going to find the next side of grace just up the hill here and to the left, which we can then activate. And now if we open up our map, we're going to see a path that heads back to the south, and we can mark some beacons along it which are going to help in the foggy section we're going to pass through next. Then from the resting spot, we're going to head out into the ice lake on Torrent and follow the edge of this icy lake. Then as you head through the trees here, we're going to keep the cliff on our right hand side and just carry on heading directly southeast across this next bit of icy lake. Now I've already dealt with the enemies, but for you it will probably be very foggy and snowy with some bosses and enemies spawning around you. But as we rejoin the land, we're going to find a rocky path in the snow that we can once again just follow all the way to the west and across this cliff edge. And now you can see the beacons that I placed earlier in the distance. We're going to head towards the next side of grace here, just to the right of the wooden barricade on the left hand side there. And then after resting here, we can then head southwest, following the path through the palisade wall on the outside of the castle, just ignoring all of the enemies and running by them. At the end, we're going to find a massive chain that stretches across a big ravine. We're going to go across this chain, and on the other side we're going to find another side of grace, but most importantly the map fragment for the whole east side of the snow region of the map. But now we're going to get the final map fragment, and to get that we need to first reach the Consecrated Snowfield. But to get there we need to unlock both halves of the secret medallion. The first half is located back to the north in this castle here, so travel back to the freezing lake resting spot just here on the map that we unlocked earlier. Now to reach the castle, we need to go east and then back around up this mountain and all the way back to the west, and then down this cliff here and round towards the castle entrance, and that's where we're going to find half of the medallion. So from this side of grace, we head around this cliff and we follow the path up the hill and through the trees here. And then if you actually do come up on the cliff edge, you can see the castle we're heading to down below, which is an easier point of reference so you know where you're going. Now, as soon as you pass through the graveyard ahead, do take care of the giant laser beam skeletons that rise out of the ground and try and destroy you. As long as you run past them on Torrent, you should be fine. Obviously, if you get hit, it's because you didn't hit the like button. we can ignore the Deathrite bird boss here and then just loop around and down the cliff and back towards the castle soul in the distance there. And this is where we're going to get the next half of the medallion. But first, we need to reach the boss. So head into the castle soul and go right across the courtyard and then take the wooden stairs up and around the wall here. Then we're going to head north through the door ahead that you can see in the distance. Once you go inside, head up the staircase and round to the right and outside into this next courtyard. Then just go straight ahead and up the stairs into the next building. Just ignore the enemies as they spawn or you can kill them. Then you'll find a site of grace just on the left that you can rest at. Now to reach the boss, go back into the courtyard to the right and then go up the ladder here. And then we're going to go right after we climb the ladder and drop down off the top here. Then we're going to go inside the door on the left and up the stairs to the top floor. And then you go back outside and that is where the boss is right ahead of you. Now, if you need a guide on how to beat Commander Niao, check out the description below. He is quite a difficult boss and I did struggle beating him myself. However, after he's been defeated, you can rest in the center of the boss arena. And now because we defeated the boss, we can go through the arena and up the tower to the north. You can take an elevator up to the top of the keep, and then up there you're going to find the Haligtree Secret Medallion, the left half on the roof here. And now I'm going to show you how to get the second part. So now we've finished Castle Soul, and we've got the medallion from the top here, but the next location we need to go to get the other half of the medallion for the elevator is all the way down here in the village of the Albinauricus, just here on the map. Now, if you've not been here before, don't worry. Just go to the Academy Gate town and then walk all the way through the woods to the southwest until you reach the Folly on the Lake. And then reaching this location is quite confusing because it's actually a cave that goes underground here, which you can't see. So let me show you how to get there from the Folly on the Lake. So you can see Ray Lucaria over there, and this is the site of grace that I showed you on the map. And then if we turn around and look to the south, you can see there's a massive cave, and this is the big cave we've got to enter. So we're just going to head south and into the cave. And we're just going to ignore all the enemies. There's some big crabs here we can just run past. Just carry on heading southwest now. And eventually you'll see like kind of these bodies hanging on some posts here and a big bridge. We want to go up the hill here, under the bridge, and then there is another site of grace just ahead here, right inside this little shack. And that is the site of grace for the village of the Albinaurix. That's where we are right now. So from that site of grace just there, we're going to turn around and we're going to go east, carry on going up the hill. And I'm actually going to kill this guy because we don't want him to get in our way. And then we're going to run all the way to the end here, where we're going to find an urn. And if we roll into this urn, we will then find a secret NPC. He will then give us the second part of the Haligtree Secret Medallion. And now we are done here, so we can fast travel all the way back to the mountaintop of giants. But we specifically want to go back to the Grand Lift of Rold, just here on the map, where we first entered the snow region. So here we are at the bottom of the elevator, but now with this new medallion, we can unlock a new secret area. And this time, if you look at the bottom there, there's an option to switch which medallion you're going to hoist. So obviously we want to hoist the secret medallion, the one we just made. And that's going to unlock a new elevator control for us to reach a different area. Once the lift stops, we can just run straight through this creepy looking archway, through the hidden path to Haligtree. Open up the big doors, head straight onwards. Take a left and then head all the way upstairs, up the second flight of stairs. Watch out for the giant tentacle monster that drops from the ceiling, and then run up into the next room. And this is where you'll find the Site of Grace. After we've rested at the Shrine of Grace, we can just head up the stairs and into the Consecrated Snowfield. Pause here and look on the map and you'll see a faint outline of a pathway, which is going to go ahead and mark along the pathway so we actually know where we're going here. And then you can see the map fragment is just at the end of the path here. So let's put a final marker there, and we're going to get Torrent and we're going to start riding into the fog. There is a very faint path that you can follow here just in front of us, but everything else is pretty difficult to see. Dropped off the cliff just over here where we found the inner Consecrated Snowfield site of grace, and just across the way here we're going to find where the map marker is. You can literally see it. After you rest at that side of grace, the weather's going to clear up for you. Then you can just cross over the snowfield. The next location you'll need to get to if you want to progress is the crumbling Farum Azula. And if you want a guide on how to do that, it's linked just over here and in the description below. Now you've unlocked the entire overground map in Elden Ring.